Good Monday morning, everybody. Chris here with High Seas Cruising, and we are back with some cruise news. Some stories that happened over the weekend, ready to get everybody all caught up. We got stories about changes to parking. We got some cruise cancellations, some itinerary changes, and unfortunately, we got a couple of ships that had some technical issues that did affect cruises. So let's jump into the cruise news, and we're going to start off down in Palm Beach, Florida. Now, Palm Beach, Florida, that is where Margaritaville of the Seas sails from. At least one of their cruise ships sails from there, and they've made some changes to the parking. Now, normally it's valet parking there. That's it. You drive up, they take your car, you head into the cruise terminal. They are changing that. Beginning November the 1st, they are doing away 100% with the valet parking, and they are going to a self-parking system, just like it is at the majority of other cruise ports. You park your own car, walk up to the cruise terminal. Of course, you can still drop people off there at the entrance. You got 4 or 5 people, drop them off, drop off your luggage, then go park your vehicle, which is what you see at the majority of cruise terminals. Now, parking is going to be $19 per day per vehicle, and you will see that going into effect this Friday. Next, we have 2 cruise cancellations from Virgin Voyages. One in May of 2025, one in October of 2025, and both of these cruises have been canceled for private charters. Now, this does happen occasionally in cruising. Somebody comes along, company, corporation, group, wants to book the entire cruise ship, and these are profitable for cruise lines. And so when it happens, yeah, they will just cancel a passenger cruise in favor of a charter. Now, both of these were on board the Valiant Lady. First one being May 23rd, 2025, sailing from Miami. And the second one is the October 10th sailing out of Miami. Now, guest sailing on Royal Caribbean's Utopia of the Seas, well, they got a last-minute itinerary change for their cruise sailing today, October the 28th. Now, these changes are being made to expected severe weather along the path of the Utopia of the Seas, and originally she was supposed to have 3 port stops: Nassau, Bahamas, Perfect Day at Coco Key, and in Labadee, Haiti. Well, unfortunately, the stop in Nassau, Bahamas and Perfect Day at Coco Key have been removed from the itinerary. They have been replaced with sea days, and the only port stop they're going to make is going to be in Labadee, Haiti. So 1 out of 3 is all they have left. But you know, any last minute itinerary change, when you're informed the day before that 2 out of your 3 port stops are now gone, it is going to create some disappointment, and that's understandable. It 100% is understandable to find out, oh, hey, we're not going 2 out of 3 places, but it is weather related. It is for the safety of the passengers, the crew, and the ship. Now, Royal Caribbean also had an issue with Brilliance of the Seas. Little technical issue, a little delay, possibly some engine issues that resulted in her getting stuck in Progreso, Mexico, while they were making some repairs. Now, they were finally able to depart the port, head back to New Orleans, but of course they were extremely delayed. They were scheduled to arrive there the morning of the 26th, this past Saturday, but instead didn't arrive till around 5 p.m. So several hours of delay, which of course affects embarkation. The 11:30 to 12 early embarkation time was moved all the way up until 9 p.m., with the last arrival time all the way up at 10:30 p.m. So yeah, a very late embarkation for Brilliance of the Seas follow-on cruise. Now, for those embarking on the ship, Royal Caribbean did provide a little bit of compensation. They provided a full 1-day refund of the cruise fare to their onboard account, and a prorated refund for any packages purchased on board the ship: Wi-Fi, drink package, things like that. And no cancellation of their port stops is expected on this current voyage. And finally, a technical issue. This one has resulted in the canceling of an entire cruise. The Regal Princess has just completed a transatlantic sailing heading towards Galveston, Texas. This was going to be the first winter sailing out of Galveston for this year. Was due to sail yesterday, the 27th. However, those passengers were notified on the 25th only 2 days prior to sailing that due to technical issues, the cruise would have to be canceled. Now, there were some problems that were reported as the ship was making its transatlantic. The Regal Princess, she had a few issues even just trying to get here. Now, whether the issues she had on the transatlantic sailing are related to the technical issues that caused the cancellation, Princess Cruise Line has not said. But I think it's probably a pretty good possibility. You see, on September the 30th, it was reported that there was a fire in the engine room on board the ship. The captain announced, yes, there was a fire. Yes, it was very quickly extinguished, and everybody could go back to enjoying their evening. Didn't affect anything on board the ship that was announced at the time. Then on October the 24th, when the Regal Princess was leaving Grand Caymans, it's reported that there was a ship-wide power outage. Now, there are other unconfirmed reports. Don't know for sure that wasn't the only power outage that occurred on board the ship. And supposedly people were saying that crew members were reporting they were running on backup generators. Again, unconfirmed. Those are just allegations at this time. Now, of course, Princess is not going to come out and say what caused the fire, what resulted from the fire, what damage was caused by the fire. They're not going to come out and say that the power outage at Grand Caymans was a result of something that occurred by the fire. Was some damage done that affected other systems? They're never going to say that. So it's purely a guess if all this is connected, but sometimes 1 + 1 = 2. They had a fire in the engine room. They had a power outage. Now we have a cruise canceled due to a technical problem just a couple of days later. Now, all guests booked on the cruise will receive, of course, a full refund for any cruise fare they paid, plus a 25% future cruise credit. Now, you know, cruise cancellation 2 days prior, there's going to be unhappy people. There is going to be unhappy passengers, but it's not like the cruise lines plan this. Stuff breaks, mechanical issues happen, and believe me, the cruise line would much rather sail with a ship full of paying passengers than to have to cancel a cruise and sit dockside while they're waiting for repairs. All right, and that is going to be our video for today. If you've enjoyed today's video, do me a favor and hit that like button. If you haven't done so yet, do me a favor and hit subscribe. It is free to do so. Helps our channel grow. Let you know anytime we put out a new video. Hope everyone out there is having a really great day. And like always, we will see you out on the high seas.